Hello everybody and welcome back to another new video. Today we're going to be talking about something that I haven't had a chance to really talk about before in the past, but suddenly I started feeling like I should talk about it just because I have some opinions that I kind of want to get out there because this release for this new game, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, most of you have probably heard about it anyways. It's literally right around the corner. It comes out like next week on the 12th, I believe. I'm not sure. Last time I checked, it was like next week on the 12th. Anyways, it's literally around the corner, and everybody is really excited for this game. Everyone is, somewhat excited for the multiplayer. People are really excited for the battle royale, and most everybody agrees that zombies is going to be probably the best part about this game. And the reason why I want to talk about this game today is just because I simply disagree. I disagree with a lot of people's opinions about this game, and I think it's going to be one of the worst Call of Duty games that we're going to get ever. And that's simply just because of what I've seen from other people playing the game, both multiplayer and Battle Royale. And honestly, I think the Battle Royale is worse than the multiplayer. When we first got the multiplayer beta, like back over like a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months ago at this point, I remember watching someone do a live stream that I was subscribed to in my sub feed on YouTube, right? And I was watching the gameplay, and it seemed really slow, it seemed really clunky, all the guns felt super weak, the time to kill was completely horrible. I didn't like the time to kill. The game didn't look great whatsoever. It looked really, really bad. And considering that this is supposed to be a game that Treyarch has been working on for 3 years, nevertheless, they've been working on this game for 3 years, and it looks like utter crap. I think it's one of the worst looking Call of Duty games that we've ever gotten at this point. And then we also, we saw Battle Royale, and everybody agrees that Battle Royale, in terms of, or Blackout, whatever you want to call it, Blackout looks really bad whenever you're playing it, especially on like a regular PlayStation 4. If you're playing on a Pro, maybe A, it runs better, and B, maybe it looks a little bit better, but just, it doesn't look good. Like, this game does not look good. It doesn't look like it plays good. I didn't really get a chance to play because I didn't want to give Activision my money. I didn't want to spend $60 on a pre-order, or I didn't want to pre-order the game. I didn't want to waste my money and get a game that I know I'm not going to enjoy simply just by watching the game. I didn't care about playing the beta. I didn't care about playing the Blackout beta. I don't care about this game, and everyone already has their disagreements with it, saying like, yeah, the whole lack of the single player thing, that's really dumb, etc., etc. And it's like at this point, Activision knows that they want to focus and push Battle Royale this year because it's the most popular thing that's going on this year because of Fortnite being such a huge thing. They're pushing this whole Battle Royale agenda because they think they're going to get a lot of money from it. And yeah, they're going to get a lot of money from it from like the first month, but after the first month is over, everyone's going to see that this game is not as good as they really think it is because over the course like the last, month, 2 months, I'm seeing all these people give praise, saying like, oh, it's actually a lot of fun, yada yada yada. But I remember when the Blackout beta first came out, and I was on Twitter, I was scrolling through my feed, and then I saw a YouTuber tweet out something that kind of irked me and kind of pissed me off because I just hated how the tweet kind of came across. And that was from YouTuber I Am Wildcat on Twitter, right? That's his @ He's verified on Twitter, of course, but he tweeted, BR games need either building fast vehicles or clean and fast movement. There's nothing more aggravating than being shot at without cover and feeling like you're in quicksand. And I remember reading that at the time, and I remember even reading it now. I just reread it as before I started recording. I read it, and I remember feeling, really baffled by why he tweeted that, or like what he meant by that. And that's probably because if you go look at his channel, he's been posting a lot of Fortnite, as is a lot of other people. And I can make a whole other video on the Fortnite fan base and why it's really toxic, and it's why it's probably one of the more toxic fan bases of any gaming community. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Call of Duty. I remember reading the tweet, and obviously I had seen him post a lot of Fortnite because I was like, because then I replied to him saying, but shouldn't that be the point? It's called Battle Royale, where you fight to survive. But anytime I watch Fortnite gameplay, I see building simulator with guns instead of Battle Royale. Maybe it's just me. And that was exactly my point. My point is that Battle Royale, it was always meant to be survival. You land on an island with 100 different people. You look for guns. The circle, there's this huge circle that starts shrinking down, and all the surviving players that are on this island have to go and meet up in like somewhere in the middle or wherever the circle takes them. Right, but the thing with Battle Royale, and the reason why I think it's one of the worst games I have ever seen and ever played, is because of the whole building mechanic. I hate the building mechanic in the game. I think it ruins gameplay, and people will argue and say, well, that's the skill gap. That shouldn't be a skill gap. There shouldn't have to be a skill gap with the whole thing that doesn't make any sense to begin with. The only reason why it's in this game is because of the original like concept of the game, which is supposed to be just a survival, kind of horror-esque game, where you like build a fortress and have to like survive like waves of enemies. There's supposed to be like a wave kind of, shoot them up, and that's what it was supposed to be. But then Epic saw, PUBG, and that got really popular, and so they made Battle Royale. Regardless, my point is that, back to the whole topic. I'm rambling. I'm sorry for rambling, but the reason why I think just the multiplayer and the Battle Royale is so trash is because we're going to talk about Blackout. Blackout does nothing new with the Battle Royale formula. It takes what Blackout is and just takes it into the Call of Duty, engine and into the physics of Call of Duty, and it does nothing new. It's first person in PUBG. You can play in first person. There's no building. You have vehicles. You have water vehicles, land vehicles, and then you can go in the air with a helicopter. You get guns. There's a circle that shrinks down and it goes to specific areas on the map. And the map is like fairly big. It's supposed to be fairly big. It should be fairly big considering it's a battle royale. Yours is like up to 80 players, which is kind of stupid. But this is Activision's first time, especially Treyarch as well. But this is Activision's first time making a battle royale game, so you can't really fault them for that. This is their first time doing this. But then again, I guess you can say the same thing about Epic and them doing a battle royale, and the same thing with the developers for PUBG. But that's not the point. The point is that this is Activision's first time trying to make a battle royale game, so 80 players was their limit. They're trying to push for 100 players, which is good, and that should be 100 players, but that's not the point, really. The point is that it takes battle royale, it takes what PUBG, did, and just did it slightly better. They did it slightly better in the sense that it looks better than PUBG, and it runs better than PUBG. PUBG on console, and sometimes on PC, depending on your PC specs, doesn't run well and it doesn't look good. And PUBG is significantly inferior to Blackout, and it's not even better than Fortnite. And I say Fortnite is one of the worst games I've ever played. It doesn't do anything better than Fortnite. Everything that Fortnite does in its own game does it better than Call of Duty, and it basically has the same mechanics besides the whole building aspect. Fortnite does nothing new. It looks really bad. It runs really bad for most of the general audience that doesn't have a PlayStation 4 Pro. And overall, it's just a really bad experience. The only reason why I think people are so excited about this is because it's something new, to Call of Duty. We've never really had, vehicles in a Call of Duty, style or manner. The last time we had that was back in World at War in like 2006. And even then, we only had like tanks, and that wasn't really much that you can do with it. It was just tanks. There wasn't anything that you can really do with it. We never had vehicles in a true like Call of Duty manner where you can pilot your own helicopter. You can drive like an actual boat. You can do this, that, and the other. That's the only reason why people seem really excited about this, in my opinion. And in multiplayer is a whole another ball game. I was up in 4, with the whole like healing thing and how healing now works. I think that's fine, but the whole thing with bringing specialists back, I think that's stupid. I think that's one of the worst decisions that they made. I think the time to kill is way too high. Some people have been defending the time to kill, but I've seen people take like up to 8 to 10 shots. That is ridiculous. It needs to be shortened to the general assault rifle to take like up to 3 to 4 shots. Actually, like 4 to 5 at most. And SMG is like 3 to 4 because those are like meant to be more up close, so it should have a higher time to kill. And snipers, I mean, that shouldn't even be a question. We know how snipers should work. And shotguns, that still shouldn't be a question. And yet, for some reason, no matter what range you're at, shotguns in that game are always a 2-shot. That is atrocious. I hate that. I hate how they changed shotguns in the game. They made them a secondary, which in hindsight, Modern Warfare 2 did that, and shotguns were just fine, even though they were a little overpowered. But they underpowered them so much that shotguns as a secondary is no longer viable. It's not viable whatsoever, and you're better off running with one of the shitty pistols that the game gives you, and they're not even that good anyways. You're better off running a really bad pistol than a even worse shotgun. It's terrible. The maps, none of them are good. None of the maps that we've seen, none of them are good. Activision is pushing the whole, Black Ops Pass or whatever they fucking called it. They're pushing that, and it's like another whole $60 that you have to spend on top of already a $60 game that you're buying. No, that's fucking stupid. And they just announced that they're gonna, bring back old maps like slums and some other maps. I don't remember which maps they are, but they're bringing back like old maps from previous games, which should obviously show you that they have no idea what they want to do with maps anymore. If they're so willing to, make, to put these maps, these returning maps into the, Black Ops Pass, so you have to pay a $60, another whole $60, which is basically just a whole another game. They're so willing to do that it should obviously show that Activision is only in it for the money. They don't care about the consumer. They don't care about the customer. They don't care about the fans. They only care about the money that you're giving them, and that's all it has ever been with them. It's always been about that for years and years now, and at this point, I am done supporting them. I was done supporting EA when they fucking screwed up Battlefront 2. Battlefront 2, in hindsight, that's a great game. The gameplay is fun, and it's different enough from the first game. It's so much fun to play. It looks so much fun to play, but EA has fucked up that game with microtransactions. Activision is doing the exact same thing with the Black Ops Pass, and will soon do the same thing with the microtransactions with Call of Duty points. It's fucking stupid. And if you want to talk about cringe, more than Fortnite's cringe, go look at their Call of Duty channel. Go look at the fucking Call of Duty channel and look at some of the fucking cringe that they have on that channel. It's so fucking bad. They have like this guy fucking doing a parody with like Post Malone, feeling like a rock star. That's what the title of the video says. I it's without a fact that there aren't real people creating these videos for the Call of Duty channel on YouTube. It's Activision. It's someone over at Activision or Treyarch. That's the case. That's the case. But anyways, this is a rant. I wanted to just, give my opinions about Call of Duty Black Ops 4, where it's heading at. I think it's going to be a terrible game. I think zombies is going to be the only redeeming factor, but zombies, along with everything else that the game offers, is not worth $60. That's like $20 worth of experience. For me, at least. So the game's going to flop. I think after the first month, people are going to get mad. They're going to want their money back. People are going to get bored of the game. And honestly, I don't even know if it'll survive a month. I think, honestly, after Red Dead Redemption 2 comes out, which is going to be a way better game, I don't even think it'll last a month. I think Call of Duty fans are going to go back to Fortnite because that's all they can fucking play now because, they have to fucking suck off Epic and give them their money. And Red Dead Redemption 2, Rockstar makes amazing games. We already know what to expect from Rockstar. They make fantastic games, and Red Dead 2 looks fucking fantastic. I can't wait for, October 26th. This game's going to be amazing. I'm going to be playing this with my friends. I'm going to be playing the story and experiencing all the epicness of the world. It's going to be amazing. But that's pretty much the end of the video. I wanted to rant about Call of Duty for a little bit. My disappointment with the series and where it's going at. The Call of Duty channel has cringe. And just overall, the experience that I've seen so far with Call of Duty Black Ops 4. And without further ado, let's go ahead and wrap up the video here. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like. If you disagree with some of the stuff I said, go ahead and leave a comment saying how much you want me to fucking kill myself. It's whatever. I don't give a shit. Your comments don't fucking hurt me. But regardless, I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a fantastic day. I'm out. Peace.